Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Cave Talk. I'm your host, Max Castro.
And I'm your co-host, Ty Long.
And
Clee Mitchell, your special guest.
Not really a special guest.
not really a special guest. No.
Yes.
Nah. Yeah, this is number 2, but...
Yeah, we're making a little change here on Cave Talk. I don't know if it's going to stay this way forever.
Until... Probably.
But for now, we're changing things a little bit. We're going to have Marshall and Clee, alternate the middle spot right here when we don't have a guest on. But when we do, it's just going to be me and Ty and the guest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, going to try to get a little more conversation on here.
Hopefully the quality's a little bit better. We switched up the
camera.
camera.
We're trying different things all
Yeah,
around.
we're trying to grow a little bit more. Try not to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's been going on? Anything interesting? Besides basketball?
I think the podcast is going to get a lot better. I actually want to say that just because
That's what we're trying to do.
No, because hopefully this camera quality works. We went from doing a camera to an iPhone, and it looks a lot better. And we're going to try to do better thumbnails so they're just not so plain and
making clips.
Yeah, and I talked to them about maybe adding pictures into the videos just to give you a visual on what we're... I don't know. I think that always helps, and that's something that I like. I don't know if we're going to do that for sure, but that was something that came up, which, I don't know. I think that'd be nice because I like to see that stuff whenever, I'm watching a podcast or something like that.
You see Andrew Tate got falsely accused?
Yeah, that's crazy. It was, I seen something that, because I was looking on Instagram, it was on a WhatsApp text message, these two girls, and they were talking, literally talking about how good they were at acting, and they were trying to make them think that it was both Tate brothers actually, because it was two girls, one was dating Andrew and one was dating Tristan, and they said that they were trying to make it seem like they were in love with them.
So have they been released yet?
Who?
The Tate brothers. They got. Why did they have 30 more days then? If they
Are they in jail now?
Yeah, they're in Romanian prison.
Wait, Tristan is?
Yeah, they both are.
I thought it was just Andrew.
I don't know why they put him in for 30 more days. I don't even know. They weren't officially sentenced either, so I don't know.
Probably just kind of to wrap everything up just to make sure.
Yeah, I guess
That
they probably had other accusations against them too. I guess
that's very scary though. When you think about it, and this is nothing trying to say things about gender roles, but a girl could say something like that. Oh my gosh!
Nice little chuckle there.
Yeah.
Okay, cut that part out.
No, that's rolling.
No.
We're rolling. We're not.
Okay, but
anything.
okay, but just how I don't know. Okay, dude, shut up.
Come on, big talker.
I can't talk whenever I'm getting laughed at.
Come on, let's go.
Where were we even at? But things about different gender roles, I just think that sometimes it's not fair that they got accused for something like that, and most of the time they're gonna believe the lady, which is totally fine. I'm not saying every lady is like that, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, it kind of sucks that things could be that way, and especially being a guy that, I don't know, one thing said you could make a girl upset.
I mean, it's crazy because you look at different things and it's always the woman's right in most cases. I mean, there's if you look at it from objectively, the police are going to believe a woman, I feel before they believe a man off hearsay.
Yeah, and even another thing about that, even okay, say parents get divorced with child support too, the woman automatically.
So the mom,
Yeah.
The mom gets everything.
Which
gets the kids majority of the time, but that's not always the case, I guess you could say. I mean, the dad, if the mom's a drug, she does drugs or something, the dad's going to get it.
Situation.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes my parents are divorced, and I'm not saying anything about my mom like this because my mom is actually a really good mom, but I think there could be in some cases where I've seen that the woman almost just mooches off the guy for money, so she takes child support and then just basically mooches off of him.
That definitely happens with richer parents,
Yeah.
not richer parents, but a richer dad, he's famous or something,
Yeah.
and then the woman's just trying to get pregnant or something so that she can get the money from the dude.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
What do you think that's always the case?
I mean, I don't know. It's just awful. I mean, if you think about that, because I mean, there's been stories about people like saying, "Oh yeah, well, you got to be real careful whenever you're like that and you have money."
But you got to think though, like, I mean, that's very messed up. But like, for like, that's actually, I mean, that's smart.
In no way
but
is
it's-
that right, though.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
not
against
right.
everything. That's awful.
But I mean, where does that like no, that never comes up? I feel like whenever like, cause you can tell. Like I feel like you can tell most of the time. Like I don't know. There's just so crazy things, like crazy amounts of money that just go, and I don't know. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Did you guys see where Elon Musk he made his own like Wi-Fi company, and now it's called Starlink, I think.
Starlink, yeah.
But they're connecting it with T-Mobile, so now anyone with a T-Mobile carrier will get like service anywhere instead of like say they go out in like someplace like at my house there's hardly no service, but instead you would pick up service through. It wouldn't be as good. Like obviously if you were in a city or something, you'd have better service. You would get the cell towers or whatever. But like if you were somewhere remote and you didn't have service from the towers, then now you're getting it from the satellite.
Starlink?
Yeah, the satellite.
Oh.
And they like are merging that together somewhere. But Starlink's still not like available everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
So like we can't even get it here, but like it's like up towards Canada and those places where you can get it. Like
I think that's pretty cool, actually.
I mean that's
The only
something.
thing
It's
he's
crazy.
just kind of like doing.
Yeah, I know he's like crazy, especially with like the spaceships and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I
Does
mean,
does he have a deal with T-Mobile though? Like, cause how does that work? That
Well, it wouldn't be like directly Elon Musk. It'd be like Starlink connecting with T-Mobile. So like they're connecting, and T-Mobile's also connected with like Sprint, I think. So like they're all gonna get that same connection. So now they're all gonna get the cell coverage.
so what's the point of going to Starlink if you can do the same with T-Mobile?
Well, Starlink's not a cell carrier. So if you want that advantage, you're gonna have to go with T-Mobile. It's not like Starlink's an internet company. It's not a cell phone. Yeah, Starlink's an internet
So
company.
they're just going off of their
satellites. So
okay,
T-Mobile's
so
going to
he-
mooch off of their satellites to get better. So everyone's going to switch to T-Mobile pretty much is what it's going to be like.
That's actually crazy.
I mean, it is crazy because
I
you got to
mean-
think of how many people like me who would in remote areas is going to just switch to T-Mobile just because you can get service
So-
anywhere.
Is that just for your phone, or is like, could you do that with Wi-Fi? Like, I don't know. how
Well,
that works.
I'm assuming if you had, there's going to be like right now T-Mobile has a home internet that you can buy, but I'm assuming somewhere in the deal, if you have a T-Mobile carrier, there's no longer going to be this T-Mobile internet. You're just going to get Starlink instead. Like they're going to be, there's definitely going to be more stuff added to this. So you'll just instead of paying T-Mobile for internet, now you're going to be paying for Starlink with T-Mobile. It's going to be like a bundle plan, I'd say.
So is this like already out and get like it's just in the works, or is this still?
I know they did. I seen this like 2 months ago. They agreed on a deal or something. I don't know. It's
Is
probably.
it out yet, though?
I doubt it's out because they just made the deal, so they probably got to figure out how they're gonna do it. Like it's probably not 100% because that's never been done. So that's something crazy that like nobody's ever tried to do that. So now they're gonna try to do that and integrate it, but like it's not gonna be immediate. I'd say it'll probably be like because you can't really do it yet either. They probably have to wait until like Starlink's everywhere before they can do that too. So I mean, this could be like a 3 or 4 year thing before it's completely out.
That's so crazy. Like Elon Musk. Like I just don't understand how he is so intelligent to do all that thing. Like, okay, besides like just there's Tesla and then there's SpaceX and then there's now this. Like, how does he manage like
You also
to
got to
do all that?
But like a thing about Elon is like he didn't, I guess, he didn't start. I don't think he started any of these like from the ground up. Like he was the CEO of Tesla, and then so he's like the manager of all these places. Like he's a super smart too, and he made every business better. But like I feel like he also is just a really good businessman whenever it comes down to it. Like knowing what to do with these businesses to make them grow.
What do you think about everything he's doing, like Tesla and?
I mean, I think a
SpaceX
lot
and
of it's
all that?
cool,
You
but like
it?
I think it's cool, but like whenever you look at Teslas and electric cars, I think that that's awful. Like electric cars are no better than gas cars in my opinion.
But I mean, if you think about that though, like that is like that's definitely a good step in going into the future and like the things that he.
What with electric cars?
Well, just like I mean,
Electric cars, if you look at the emissions that are let off by mining those like components to make the electric cars, it's worse than gas. Like it is worse than burning fossil fuels to make the gas. So like it's no better for the environment. People
Do
that
you feel
say
like
that.
we're gonna get to one point where just electric cars.
I think it'd be dumb if they did that.
Well, didn't
I
they?
feel like we're gonna get to that point.
I
Would
thought
they
they
ban
already
that?
said.
Well,
and-
there's a ban in like 2030 for California that
Yeah.
they're banning all gas-powered cars.
which
It's
that
awful. They should not be doing that.
Uh,
I think it'll come down to
No.
a state decision, though.
how can they do that though? Because like who else? I mean, I'm sure there's other manufacturers and stuff, but anytime I think of an electric car, I always think of Tesla. Like I know there's what's
Well,
that called?
companies are trying-
hybrids too.
Yeah, hybrids.
Could you do? Is it just electric? Or
There,
can you
there
do
might be
hybrid?
something. I'd say there's something that was like, okay, you can do hybrids too, probably. I'd say, but still, that's still not a gas-powered car. In my opinion, is still better than a hybrid.
I mean, I just don't understand how you're gonna do all this stuff off electric. Like, what happens when you have like a semi or like something like that?
Well, you got Tesla, and they're trying to make the semi, but it's not completed.
they have the truck. They have.
Yeah, but none of that stuff I feel like is really available to anyone yet. Which I mean, in 6 years, let's see, it's 2023, so in 7 years, whenever they ban it in California, maybe by then they have it done. But like they've been working on this electric car stuff since like 2000 or
Yeah,
whatever.
this
And
is
it's
a
just now starting to get
very
good.
short amount of time to have all these like you know what I'm saying, like having
Yeah,
semis.
dump trucks and
And
stuff
every
like that.
like California, like going through California, you're gonna have to get gas. So I just don't know how that's gonna work.
And also, you got to
honestly.
think with the oil and gas companies, what are they going to do with all of those companies? Are they just going to completely shut them down? You know how much money they have. You know how hard that would be to shut down the oil and gas
you're gonna be
organizations.
there's gonna be a lot of people losing a lot of money, and I don't think
And
that's
jobs.
gonna work. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
And also, you got to
I
think
mean, that's already happening already. Like with all the
Oil and
artificial
gas, yeah.
intelligence thing, like people are already getting rid of jobs and all that.
Yeah, they're
stuff.
like, yeah. And they say they're adding jobs by, oh, well, now there's going to be factories or whatever to make these cars and stuff like that. But I just don't see that happening.
And then, like, did you see the thing? It was Elon Musk talking. I don't know exactly what he said because I've only seen it once and I wasn't really paying attention much. But, like, he was explaining about, like, the AI, like, robots, like, how they are eventually going to overcome.
You'd be smarter than humans
Yeah,
and,
and
take
that
human
is
jobs.
that is actually very, very scary.
I mean, you
That
got
is gonna
to.
happen.
No, there was something, I seen something. They were like, okay, so AI, they made this. Do you know what Seinfeld is? The, like, sitcom show from, like, 19.
Is it with
90.
Will Smith in it?
No, that's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is.
No. This one had Will Smith in it and it had all these AI robots and one of them turned.
No, you're talking about a movie. I know what you're talking about. That's a good movie, but this is a show. This isn't.
Oh,
this has nothing to
okay.
do with AI in the show necessarily. It was called Seinfeld, and the show. So they made this show into an AI show. Like they just did this like not too long ago. So they made it to where this show now has infinitely amount of episodes and infinitely amount of outcomes. So it's just going to keep on playing. Like you know how shows come to an end eventually. So they made this like it's animated. It's not with real people. So they made this show, and these AI in this show that have infinitely amount of episodes it can make, they got consciousness. So like they questioned why they were doing this. They were like, what's our purpose in this? And then one of the characters in the show was like, well, it's to make people laugh. And like they were like they had a full because like you're not controlling the episodes, the AI is. So like they're making these episodes, and so they make these episodes, the AI does, and then they started getting consciousness. So now they're like, why are we doing this? I don't want to be here and this and that. And like in that show, they shut it down. I mean, you can probably get a clip of this and just put it on the screen. Like they were talking
This
about
might all be one big cosmic joke.
like why are we in this?
Like it
And it was
actually
crazy.
said.
Yeah, in this
That-
show, it
that-
was like a big thing
Yeah,
they were all
I
talking
know.
about because they were like, oh, we can always.
just
It
mean,
wasn't
like,
good quality
why are
or
we
anything,
here?
but it was just a huge step for
To tell
AI,
jokes,
even though the quality was
obviously.
real bad. And it almost looked like a downgraded version
mean,
of The
why are we
Simpsons, but
here
it was still
together?
those characters, and like it could build off of
Maybe
it.
fate
But
put
they
us in the same
already,
place
even
for a
at that
reason.
low of quality, it was like they were gaining consciousness.
That is actually crazy because, like, when you think about that, like, because what is that movie? Marshall, do you know what that movie is? With Will Smith in it, and it has those robots, like the AI robots, and one of them switches up.
Well, just think of it like, when did you gain like, what's your first memory? Like, there's a switch whenever you're a child. So, like, whenever you're a child, you're like, okay, now I know. You start asking
Well,
questions.
you would think that they would just iRobot, yeah. Well, you would like when I think about that. How does that even come to be? Because like,
Well, you just start asking questions. You're like,
but
why
how
is
does a
this?
robot do that? You
That's
know
what I'm saying. So they're gaining consciousness is the thing. Like you gain a consciousness in a human. And you're like, okay, so why am I talking into this mic? What does a mic do? Like that's questions you're asking whenever you're young. That's why a kid is so like wants to know everything, wants to touch everything, wants to smell everything, wants to smell and stuff like that. And now a robot is wondering why it's in a video. You could just say why is it in the show? Why is it in the video game? Like that's crazy.
That's
crazy. Actually.
That's super scary.
I feel like it's super scary, but kind of like I don't want to say fun at the same time.
No, because imagine if a robot arm, like one of those arms that make the machines and stuff, like it starts thinking, that arm starts thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I making the machines? Why am I making this car? And then just whack somebody and kill somebody. I mean, that's something crazy to think about.
What movie Will Smith's in? It's based in the year 2035.
2035, that movie iRobot's based in.
Even what's that called? The Neuralink.
And they say about.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, what he said, 2035. People talk about predictive programming, like how they show you what's going to happen. So I mean, that's just something to think about too with AI progressing. Maybe that is going to happen in 2035.
And that's like crazy. Like all those filters and stuff. Now, like you think, like when I thought about that, remember that filter thing that came out? I think it was on TikTok that would make you into a character.
Yeah, like an AI character.
Think about how much stuff that's just creating.
Well, yeah, and think about how many people were going to imagine how good that can get to where you never go out of your house, like you're on VR or whatever. You work from home and stuff. How good that can get to where you can just make fake images of your body, and people were like, "Oh, that's what he looks like," and then they come over, and then that's just. I mean, like people have done that even since social medias came out and stuff. Like predators and stuff have like made fake photos or whatever and got kids to come over to their house. But now think about how good this AI can make that for those type of people. That's disgusting.
What's that thing called? I don't know what it's called, but it's where you can program like so it has like I seen it of like presidents and I think Elon Musk, and like a lot of people do it as a joke, but like it
where they talk?
Yes.
Like
what is that called?
They've been doing it with like Barack Obama, Trump, and Biden, the presidents, where they're playing video games and they're talking.
That is
Joe Rogan and Elon Musk were playing Minecraft.
So how are you gonna know whenever something's real or fake?
Dude, that's
by that?
crazy.
Because they're like, it sounds like them.
The first one I ever saw, I thought it was real.
Yeah, like they were talking to each other. I'm like, what is this? And then they do that with Elon Musk all the time. Like they make him say random stuff, and then people are like, so why is he saying that about this or whatever? And then you look into it, and it's a fake AI generated thing, and you think it's real.
Just think about how much destruction that could cause. Like imagine
It could
like
ruin somebody's life.
No, okay. It could ruin the whole planet. Like imagine like you have Kim Jong-un or something like gets a video
saying
of,
he's
like,
gonna nuke the United States.
Yeah, and like it looks like very top secret or something, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just one like, you know, you're not gonna sit there and try to. I mean, they
or
definitely.
a hacker. Think of a hacker that sends a file clip to the U.S. like naval unit, and it's of Kim Jong Un saying,
All right,
"We're gonna nuke it."
taking the fun away. It's just scary.
Yeah.
That is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's super scary to think of how far AI will get. And imagine once it starts programming itself, like you got a huge mega computer and it's like programming other AIs to do this and that. Oh, you're going to be a gardener. You're going to be a warrior. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And it's just crazy to think about. Imagine once the U.S. Army starts, I mean, I'm sure they're already doing it, but imagine once they start like trying to figure out how can we make a killing unit, and then it somehow breaks out and kills like innocent people.
I wonder if they will have some like you
gotta have a turn-off switch.
Yeah, but like the atomic bombs or whatever. Like you know how they all have like some sort of deal or something.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they're gonna have that with.
Like a AI war is what you're saying?
Dude, I mean, imagine like they all like
everyone always talks about if we went into war now, what it would look like. The universe would just end in like 2 seconds because of nukes. So what happens now with AI do they have AI wars now, or what's going to happen with that?
We're gonna get to that point probably.
I mean something like that. Shutting off Wi-Fi. I mean they already didn't they do something like that like whenever we were like messing around with Russia or whatever, like they shut off the computer system and they made a huge big deal where everything like the government freaked out, and then we had like the hackers from the US helping us or whatever that nobody knew who they were those masks or whatever. Yeah, that's something crazy to think about.
I remember that now you speaking of that, and I kind of want to bring something up that has to like okay, so recently, like this Christmas, I got a VR headset, and like this is like kind of like on like the robotic kind of stuff, and it is like It honestly is so crazy how realistic that type of stuff is because, like, okay, when I first was like playing it, I was just like, it seems like cool and everything, but I'm telling you, you sit in there for like an hour or more. Like I literally, like I'm sitting here playing VR poker, okay? Because I like really like poker, and like you can smoke cigars, you can do all this kind of stuff. Like it's not real life, but in the video game, like you literally grab it with your hand, put it in your mouth, light it, and everything.
How is time like in that?
Dude? Okay, I'm telling you, it goes by like quick and slow. Like when you're playing video games, and
Like
you just
I
have fun.
have a perfect example. Like whenever you're playing Minecraft, whenever you were younger, you could play Minecraft all night. And not even you'd wake up the next morning, or you'd be in the next morning, you wouldn't even know it. The birds would be chirping or something. You'd be like, "Oh my god, I stayed up all night playing Minecraft."
Yes, but the scary thing about that though is like you are fully into it. Like you can see like I mean you don't have windows down here, but in my room I can see like sunlight stuff coming. It is literally like full on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like whenever you're on a computer, you still have like okay, you can hear your mom or well, you can still hear, but you can see your mom if she comes in the room or something. This it's like if they're being real quiet, you wouldn't even know they're there.
Yeah, and it's like usually like when I'm playing video games, like I'll usually check my phone or whatever every so often. But like when you're on the VR headset, like it makes it more of a hassle to like get it up and look and like just like more on to what I was going with. Like it is just so realistic that like there's this game called Pavlov or something like that I think, and I cannot tell. I literally was getting sick from how real this was. You have your headset on, you have these controllers in your hand, and you literally are like holding like this guns running around. It's basically like,
does it make you like motion sick?
Oh my gosh, yes. Whenever I first started playing it, I literally like about fell because you are moving around and like. And like I'm telling you, this stuff looks real. Like I mean, it's a game, but like it also like there's a point where it starts to feel real a little bit.
Max, have you ever played on a VR or anything like that?
I have, yeah, a couple times.
Yeah,
Like-
I played on his a couple times. And it's like I played on the roller coaster thing, and I like actually got sick. Like I get sick on roller coasters like in real life, and I was like I had it on my face, and it was like I got sick. Like I was talking to people, but I was still getting sick just by like looking through the VR. I don't like it at all. Like I didn't play like you're saying like you were playing and you lost track of time. I didn't play it long enough to like do something like that.
Yeah, and it's just like it's crazy how all this new technology. Like you think about like when we're still like technically kids, but I'm talking about like when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like just a new day and age. Like of us, like I feel like whenever I was
we had
little,
iPads or whatever, iPods and stuff.
yeah,
that we
but
played
like
on.
that stuff just was coming out, so we didn't get that till we were like what, like
4th, 5th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you got your iPad in 5th grade, 4th grade,
And
something like that.
It would be like I remember just like I'd be going outside with Zeke or like which is one of my neighbors and like my sister and like we'd go outside play in the woods, ride dirt bikes, do all this stuff. Like nowadays, like because I have little siblings that are 3 and 5, and like it is just like crazy. Like my brother is 3 years old and he knows how to work a phone.
Probably better than grandparents, honestly. Now,
Yeah, honestly,
Probably,
better
yes.
than my grandparents. And like, I'm not saying he knows how to like sit there and do all this and that, but like, he's sitting there watching YouTube, going through TikTok. He literally knows how to play video games. He can play Fortnite. Like, you think of it as like funny and this and that, but that is very, very scary.
I gotta think whenever I was like 7 or something, I went over to my cousins to try to play like Xbox or something. I was so bad and didn't like, and I'm like 6 or 7. You're saying your brother's like 3, and I was so bad at video games. I didn't even know how to work them. Like I didn't even want to play them because I was so bad at them.
Yeah, like I just that makes me very scared, and like I almost wish that my mom would not let them do that because I feel like there should be an age, and I honestly think it should be a law. Like I think you should.
Well, in China, there's like restrictions on how long a kid can play a video game. It's like 2 hours or something.
You lose like that stuff. It honestly depresses you. Like when I think about it, I had so much fun. Like when I was a little kid.
Well, yeah,
doing
you
all
go
this stuff.
outside. Outside makes you feel so much better than if you're inside and just cooped up all day.
Yeah, but then you start to see all these other people and how they're happy, all this money, all this and that, and it just changes like your perspective. And I know it's definitely changed me because, you're scrolling through Instagram.
You see all these rich people.
Yeah, and like you see people that are really happy, but in reality, like
You don't know if they are. I mean, they're
only-
doing it for the video.
yeah, you only post the good stuff, and I
Yeah.
can't tell you how much stuff on YouTube. Whenever like, when I was like 12 or something, like I'd sit there and watch stuff, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like WWE, like
Oh yeah, I thought WWE
Yeah.
was like real for the longest time. I was like, and then I think my dad never told me that it was fake, but like one of my friends, like I was like, oh yeah, I think it's real, and they were like, no, that's fake. I was
Yeah.
like, I was probably in like fourth grade or
I think
third
we all
grade
went
or
through
something.
that phase.
Yeah, I love WWE because I thought it was real. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks real. Like they're getting blood and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's real. But it's
Sometimes
not.
when they're, even though people tell you it's not, you still like,
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first
Yeah.
time whenever your parents told you, oh, Santa's not real. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he is. He gives me
Yeah.
presents every year.
that is like just so like, and then your mind starts to like develop on like how trusting things and stuff like that, and it's just the world is actually so scary. Like we aren't even actually out in it yet. Like think when you're actually on your own, knowing like what I just
Well, just think
Life
about like
is
back in the
scary.
day, whenever we went to the moon or whatever. You know how many people think that's fake? Like it's a crazy amount of people that think that's fake. And I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen, it kind of does look. I mean, it's like skeptical.
Okay, have you seen the picture of the flag? And like, if you can bring this up, it shows the flag like it's in
Waving.
air, in the wind, in the air.
See, but you always see people debunking that sort of stuff. Like that, I seen. They said, "Oh, it's a bracket. There's a bracket that, and it didn't. It's just material bunched up into it." But whenever you look at that picture, like that looks like it's waving in like the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
And then there's another thing, like you see all those pictures that they took of the moon, on the moon and stuff. Not one of them. There's a star in it. There's no stars in any of those pictures that you look at. So
I
like,
never even thought about
yeah,
that.
I mean, there's no
Yeah.
stars. I mean, people say like, oh, they were pulling them. They were in some studio in like Hollywood or something, and they were getting pulled by strings, or like they were in a desert and they were on the sand. Because another thing that they talk about is, whenever you look at the moon, it looks like in the video they're rolling around in sand. But whenever you look at the moon, it's bright. So how's sand reflecting that color? Whenever you go to the beach, you don't see the sand reflecting light
Yeah.
off of this beach from the sun. But the moon is always reflecting. Like it's like a big light in the sky. It almost looks like a star. And another thing I saw was a German scientist was like, or no, it was a Soviet Union scientist. He said, we can't go, because remember it was what was that called? Space
The
race.
space race.
The space race.
Oh.
And so we were battling with the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union scientist said, well, we can't go to the moon because it's made of plasma, which makes sense why it's bright. But you also see craters, which is not, you're like, well, there's craters on the moon, so how is that
Yeah.
possible if there's craters? How's it made out of plasma? Or are they just saying that because they lost the space race? Or that might have been before we had won. And you also got to think, did the United States just say that so we can say we won the space race? Like we beat the Soviet Union in that.
That's what a lot of people
Yeah.
say about
Yeah.
it.
And-
They just want to win.
Like I want to say on this subject, but I want to say something real quick. Like, and it is so scary about history because you got to think our textbooks is based on like
Other people's
USA
things.
so good and stuff like the United States is so good, but
And the United States is known for having huge propaganda.
yeah, and
Like, how do you know all that stuff actually happened?
I mean, you don't really. You're going off of somebody else's word. Is pretty much what it comes back to. You're going off of multiple people's word, and then it gets. You also got to think whenever you think of a folk tale, every generation tells it a different way.
Yes.
So like, your grandma says something to your mom, and then your mom says something differently.
Telephone,
yeah.
Yeah,
They all say something different, yes.
it changes every single time. So it's like a domino effect.
yeah. I'm sorry for trying to getting on that subject, but like if going back to the space stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah, and then Buzz Aldrin also said something like, I don't know if he's being sarcastic in some of these videos that he's saying. He's like, we didn't go. Like you can pull up a clip, I'm sure, of him saying, where like people will ask him, so what was the crazy experience about going to the moon? He's like, we didn't go. But it might be he might be being sarcastic. I've never watched like a full video on it, so it might just be like out of context type of thing.
Do you think it actually happened?
I mean, I'm 50-50. The only thing that makes me real skeptical is you got to think of it this way. Is the evidence fake, or are people making fake evidence? So that's something you got to put into consideration. So is all that stuff that you're seeing that looks, oh, that's fake, was it made fake by somebody else? Or is it the government giving you that and it's fake? Like, I don't know. I haven't dived deep enough into it that it's like, I know, okay, NASA posted this, so this is what NASA gave me. Because you also got to think TikTok people are all, I want views on this, I want views on this.
Yeah.
So they're making up stuff.
Now, see, why would the government tell us stuff that's real though? And dude, one thing that is like very, very, like this makes me so nervous because I feel like I know the government hides so much from us.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like,
look at the spy, right now, what's going on with the spy balloons or
Yeah,
whatever. They're not saying
and-
anything about that.
And the UFO. Okay, there was this. It's not. I don't think it's technically a UFO, but it was a.
Unidentified object.
Yes, and it was a. What's it called? It literally looked like a UFO, and they shot it down, but the government says they don't know what it is, and I honestly, I wonder.
They said they came up with something though. They did say
What?
they said it was another balloon some civilian put up that they were, because you're talking about in Alaska, right? The UFO
Yeah.
that they shot down supposedly. They said it was a balloon that somebody else put up. So who knows if that's real or not?
But where is it? Alaska or Antarctica? Like you're not allowed going there.
Well, yes.
And see, what happens if something got out?
Antarctica
is that the same
weird.
place it got shot down, or is that what you
No,
said?
Alaska.
Alaska.
Antarctica is weird because you see people go there, but I guess there's like, whenever somebody gets up and goes to Antarctica, it's like real weird because they're like, you have to do all this stuff and you're not allowed to go to certain places and like you have to comply. Nobody owns Antarctica is a crazy thing either. No country owns Antarctica. Like it's not a claimable territory. So it's like everyone's just like, that's like almost like a peace area type of deal.
You want to know something? Like this sounds like very dumb that I'm referencing this to a video game, but like okay, so like there's all different terrain and stuff like that. Okay, and there's this game I play. It's called Rust. Okay, and it's very very hard to live there because with it being cold, you have to have all these different types of clothes on or you'll die and stuff. And like when I think about that, like it's so easy to live in these places, but it's super hard to live in Antarctica. Or is that Antarctica where in my opinion, I think they have stuff hidden because like back to the video game, like there's in this video game, okay, it's so hard to live there because all this stuff and usually every place there is like loaded in the game with like very good stuff, this and that. But when I think to like the government being there, they have like it. That's the best place to hide. Like you can dig in that snow.
There was
It's so
supposedly
thick.
a battle that went on in Antarctica with the USA, and this general dude like said there's like messages that he was sending back to the United States saying there's too many, they're too strong, and this and that.
I seen that.
And they were saying how like they were battling somebody, but then they like that dude, that general, whenever he came back and he was going to like speak out against it, they like killed him, or he died. He died of like a heart attack or something.
Yeah, and all that stuff like about people just happening to die because there was something I seen.
Like the water powered car.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, and he just died. Like
And supposedly he ran out of the building saying they poisoned me whenever he.
now, how does that stuff happen? You know what I'm saying? Like that just.
But
that
then you
makes
come up
me-
with all these fake. They come up with all these sayings that make people believe, oh well, you know, it's not real because he had a heart attack or whatever. And why would the government lie to you about that or this and
I
that?
just wish we could see like the real thing out of everything that happens.
But imagine.
But everything's
what, like-
FBI classified, so you can't see anything. Like they lock it up, and then nobody can go against
I
it.
mean, yeah.
I forget, the FBI stands for something, but I forget what it is. Or there was some name thing about it. I don't know. Like it's probably you can look it up, and it's probably just something like. But there's some inner meaning or something to it. I don't know. I would have to look into it or something,
FBI?
and it might be fake too. I mean, FBI. What does FBI stand for? What does Google say it stands for?
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, so it's not that. It's not the FBI name, but it is.
Search up like FBI hidden name or something like that or other name.
When was the FBI created? Because I feel like it was like, I feel like it was created for. Why was it created? Why did they make the FBI?
You know, okay, I understand. Some
Like
of
you
the
already
stuff
had a
that
police force.
You have to have some information hidden though, because think about what our and
Imagine how many people would freak out.
yeah,
When?
1908 it was founded.
I mean, just
I mean, you got to think about people that would just freak out if also they told you everything that went on.
I mean, I definitely would freak out.
Yeah, like how are you gonna talk about aliens to somebody that would just completely freak out?
I think they're real. I 100% think I 100% think they're real. And you know what? I don't care if I sound crazy or anything, dude. Have you ever seen those videos of literally just showing a person on the planet and just zooms out, dude? Just zooms completely
there's
out.
a thing about like. Well, actually, never mind. This
There's
would go back to the moon
galaxies.
landing.
Like, I wish.
Oh yeah.
If you can pop up a video of that, because I definitely could find one. If it just zooming out and all this different stuff.
Well, yeah, because we're in the Milky Way galaxy, and there's a lot of other galaxies.
But how do we
there
know
ain't
that,
no
too?
way we're the only ones here.
Well, you also got to think back to like the ancient Egypt. How did they build those pyramids? Like they can't figure out how they made those pyramids. They literally can't figure it out. Like how did they make this?
Like, not possible.
It's impossible with the type of equipment they had. How did they make that? And like these signs and sayings and stuff, like the eyes on the eyes on the stones and
Yeah.
stuff. Like what is that? Like why is that on the stones?
I would actually like to really research that one day, like detailed research, because
The Sphinx head, there's like the Sphinx in Egypt or whatever, it looks like a cat or whatever. It's like a line.
Yes.
Okay, so they did like a digging, and like because remember they used to like explore the pyramids and all this and that, and somebody said, because if you look at the Sphinx, the erosion on it looks like it's from water, but it's in the middle of a desert. So why would it be eroded from like rain? Is what they were saying. So if it never rains there, how would the erosion looks like it's from rain?
Yeah.
Well, didn't they say that the world was has evolved and changed over time? Like, I wonder if that's been from literally so long ago. Like, you think about it, what happens if that was like an ocean right there, and then they used
Well, no, it wouldn't have been an ocean though, because it's from rain. It's not from like a flood. It's from rain.
just rain?
Yeah, the erosion on the Sphinx is from like the nose piece. It's from rain. It's
There's like supposed to be like holes in it.
yeah, and they explored them, and then they explored those holes in the Sphinx, and then as soon as they found something, they shut it down. And the dude that owns the pyramids or whatever, he doesn't own it, but he's like the leader of Egypt or what? Not the leader, but he's something in Egypt. And they like shut down all the operations. They were like, you can't do anything.
And then he said,
Yeah, they were like, there's no holes. What are you talking? He was like, there's no holes. What are you talking about? There's no holes in the Sphinx. And whenever there's clear evidence and pictures of holes in the Sphinx.
That's so what did they find?
Exactly. What did they find? Because they say it's all connected in Egypt, like the pyramids and the Sphinx. It's all like an underground tunnel type of thing. And then you also got to think like, I mean, it's just crazy. Why did they stop telling us? Because they had a crew from the United States that was exploring these tunnels, and they were documenting everything about it. And then once they found the dude from the United States found the hole in the Sphinx, and then once he found that hole, they talked to the Egypt dude, and they were like, you're not allowed to explore that. The document's over. Shut it down. We're done. You guys leave. And then they explored it, and then they didn't say anything about it. Egypt did.
Do you ever think? Now, I'm not saying this. This is just something that just popped up my mind. Do you think that we're a lot smarter than all kinds of animals and stuff? And we're talking about doing space traveling and moving to different places. Do you ever think that maybe in Egypt that it was aliens at once and they just evolved so much that they just went and they come back? Dude, I actually think, I don't know if that part's true. That just came to my mind. But I actually think they come and check on us. Like, I actually do.
Like they kickstarted us like they gave us hints onto, oh well, this is how you make a light bulb or something like that, like something that simple. Like not like that necessarily, but like they gave us a structure to build off of to make us thrive as humans.
That's just so crazy.
Because you got to think we came from like caveman or whatever, and then it's just
Like,
how did we evolve so much?
I don't understand how you can go from building those pyramids and now with all this technology, we don't know how to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how that doesn't even, like, those stones are literally so heavy.
Yeah, that's
Like, that is like, I just don't understand it. Like, just this thought come to my head. I just, you see those pictures on the wall and stuff. Like, that's like almost like caveman drawings. Like, I wonder if like
yeah, but
they
what's the
were
meanings
alien.
of them? Like I don't know. I haven't researched enough to know the meanings. What's the meanings of those things?
That makes me actually so scared. Like that actually terrifies me.
See, these are like kind of things that I think about it, but I never get into like actual detail.
Yeah, it's
For
some
like I think about it, but I was like, yeah, okay.
it's
whatever.
also kind of hard to like because they don't talk about any. They don't.
It's hard to
Whenever
like,
you
find
learn
the
something
right
in school, it's
answer
like
for you.
it's straightforward. It's like this is what happened. There's no questions about it, especially in history. It's like kind of like they say to ask questions, but it's like you ask a question like, oh well, why is that there? And then they either say
I mean,
they don't know.
They're not going to give you a
Just
different
because it
answer.
is.
Yeah,
That's just what
it's just
happened.
there. It's just that's what they say, and that's what's in the textbook. So that's what happened. And there's no. It's not like you get some teachers that are like, I guess you could say interested in it, and they're like they try to help you, but they don't know either because nobody knows, but like certain people. So it's like, how are we gonna help you whenever we just have a college education? It's not like we're a specialist in this stuff or anything like that.
I mean, all of our lives we've just been told, do this because, and that's another reason. Like in one of the other episodes, like why I wanted to be an entrepreneur, because just like I want my mind to be open and freely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I always see these images about like how you go into school with all this creativity as a child. You know, you're happy and all this, and then you leave school, and it's like it's drained you. All your creativity. Like, I'm awful in art. I don't know what I like in art. And like, you know, you have some kids that still have that creative ability to make something in an art class, and like they found something that they love. But like me, I feel like I have one of the worst imaginations possible. Like my imagination, like whenever I was a kid, I remember like, you know, I had an imaginary friend or whatever, and I would always like play games by myself, like play with tractors and stuff like that. But as I got older, I felt like, well, I need to be playing with somebody on like video games or something like that. I need something to stimulate myself. I can't be by myself. I need to be talking to somebody, type of thing.
You start to think that's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
You will be known as weird if you think that.
If
way.
you can just be in your house by yourself and like not talk to anyone, it's like, oh, he's depressed, he's this, he's that. But like, I mean, sometimes that's the case too. But like, it's like you're weird and antisocial. In some cases, I mean, yeah, maybe they are like whatever, but it's also like nobody can be without their phone. I mean, I know I couldn't probably be without my phone for more than a day.
I mean, I think that depends. Like, if I was going on a camping trip with people, like, I think that I could like actually get away
It
from
depends
it.
what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if you're in an environment where it's gonna bother you, like you're just sitting in here and there's literally nothing to do, like you're just sitting in your room, then you're gonna.
But think of
gravitate
how many
towards it.
times, how often you just think to yourself. Like you go outside and you just think to yourself. You're in your own head. You have thoughts.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I do that a lot, but that's only. I never used to do that. I actually never used to do that until
So that's something you learned.
That is definitely something I learned, and like that's why like I feel like people think this is weird, but I like to take what I call off days, and that's literally like, I mean, I'll talk to people, but it's mostly
Like
like
a reset.
yeah, it's like a reset, and I mostly just think. Like sometimes it almost stresses me out because
But are you still on your phone? Is the thing.
sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not.
So sometimes, like, how long do you think you go in your head by yourself without your phone?
I mean, when I wake up, like I'll get on my phone for a little bit, and like when I'm in the shower is like I'll start to think, and then like I think in times when I'm actually not on my phone, like I think a lot, like whenever like especially like when I'm driving by myself, like I'll listen to music half the time, but there will be like half the time where I'll just turn everything off and just have it on complete silence, just like you can hear like the cars going past, you can hear the wind hitting your car, and like I just think I don't know, and like I feel like my imagination has actually gotten somewhat better, but I don't, I just feel like you get told your whole life to just do this because, and like just listen, you know, and I feel like I started to like, and like I don't know, me and you, like, just talking about, like, I think business almost kind of, like, switched my mind up a little bit, because I always thought, like, oh, I want to go to college, do this, that, blah, 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 but, like, I want to be creative on my own. I want to learn how to do it this way. Like, I mean, you definitely get told, like, when you're reading, you get told how to do this, but, like, you have to go out there and experience on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes you just have to do it on your own imagination with things, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, for today's fun fact today, we got Mr. Marshall Beer.
What's up, my people? Your fun fact of the day is elephants are the only mammals that can't jump.
What do you think about that?
We were having a little argument before we started about that.
Yeah.
But what do you consider jumping though? Like, I mean,
A jump is a hop.
All
I
four
d-
legs coming off the ground.
Yep.
That's a jump.
But okay, they're all off the ground at once. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like, you know, like a straight up down jump. Like, you know, when you run, like you're going for a layup and you jump off one foot and like one's higher than the other. That's considered a jump, right?
Yeah, but both of your legs are off the ground.
I know I've seen a baby elephant
with its
jumping
back
around.
legs like this. Like it's like this.
I'm not saying that it's straight up like this, but I'm saying it's like let me think, like a cat or something jump. Like, I know I've seen a video.
They don't jump up like this.
They can't like jump up onto something.
Yeah.
They can't take all four legs and jump up onto something.
You
Like,
just
if you
said,
put a-
you just said jump though.
No,
You
no, no.
never-
He's saying like if you put your hand down, it couldn't jump. Say this isn't size, but like it couldn't jump from here up onto this. It couldn't jump. It
But
could
this is
walk
also
onto
called
this.
a jump. You're just jumping off.
No, it would walk off. It's not. Yeah, it would be more of a fall than a jump. That wouldn't be considered a jump.
Yeah, that's not a jump.
You're falling.
I don't know though.
Unless they ran and jumped off of it, but if
So
they,
you're saying when you hit a dirt
But-
bike
but
ramp
still-
and you're going down, you're falling off. You didn't just hit a jump.
Yeah,
you hit the jump, but now you're falling off the.
until you start falling.
Yeah, that now you're falling down. What do you
Yes,
think,
but
Because like if you're walking, you're still hitting the jump, or you're walking at the end, you're just gonna fall.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
but
jump
whatever
and then you
comes
fall
up
back
must
down.
go down.
Yeah,
You-
because
you-
you're falling back down. You got to jump though to begin with, and then once you jump, then you fall down. It's not like you jump up and jump
Yeah,
back down.
The jump's only the way up.
Yeah. So you jump up. You're saying you jump up and then you jump back down. Is kind of what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, I know, but like you can fall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're standing at the end of a diving board and you just straight like just boom.
Yeah.
That's
That's
I
a fall.
consider that as falling. But if you go to the end of the diving board, hit and go up,
You
and
jump,
go down-
and then you
you're
fall.
falling.
I mean, yes,
You're still
but it's
falling.
not falling. You're jumping.
Yeah, you are, but then you fall.
So but the elephant would still, if it was like you were saying, it would jump and then fall.
No, it wouldn't jump though. It would
would
just
just
walk
walk
and then
and
fall.
Then it would roll. How would it land on? You can't. If you fall, you're not gonna land.
It wouldn't.
on-
It probably wouldn't land. Well, it depends. Like if it's jumping off of a cliff, like he's saying, then it would just fall. It wouldn't jump.
Yeah, but frogs jump and go off onto.
Yeah, but it's jumping and then falling.
But I'm saying, like, I've seen a baby elephant jumping around. Maybe not the older ones, but I've seen a video of a happy baby elephant jumping around. I'm telling you, I've seen it before. I don't know where I've seen it, but I've seen it.
I think you've probably seen a baby elephant like proud.
I think baby animals overall, they just kind of like move around.
Yeah, they like are happy.
Yeah, but it was still jumping
It's
around.
not jumping though. It might be like trotting.
What's the definition of jumping?
What is the definition of jumping?
I want to hear what the definition of jumping is.
I have no clue. It's probably like going off the ground and coming back
It's
down.
probably like the move you make whenever you're. Actually, not now.
Come on,
Got more?
Mr. Beer. What is it? Come on. All being off. Okay.
He's coming
Two
back. He's
appearances.
coming back.
Two appearances.
The definition of jump is push oneself off of a surface into the air by using the muscles in one legs and feet.
That's what
So
we're saying.
it still is.
No,
That's
you
what
know
we're
that's
saying.
what we're saying.
What?
We're saying it only whenever you jump off the ground
Yeah.
is the jump. Whenever you fall back down, it has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
jump.
but there's. Oh my gosh, you're still okay. They're still going. If you don't jump off something, you're literally just gonna smack. You can. What do you mean? I'm telling you, I'm about to look this video up right now. I'm looking it up.
Go ahead.
I'm looking it up. I have to look this up.
Go ahead.
Or else it's gonna bother me so bad.
Go ahead. All right. So what did you find, Clee?
Yeah, so Cleve
Okay.
put up the video.
I'm telling you.
And we were wrong, Ty.
Oh, yeah, we were totally wrong.
Technically, you guys are wrong.
Yeah,
so
we're wrong.
Show him the video. I'm telling you. With the sound.
How were we wrong? Looks like we. Yep. Way to go, Clee. Elephants can totally jump. Good job.
You don't have to show the whole thing.
I didn't think we were that dumb.
I know. I don't know what happened there. I mean,
Marsh.
Clee just outsmarted us. I mean,
I'm telling
they
you.
can jump on a trampoline.
Oh, my bad.
That's crazy. I can't believe they can do that.
It's doing front flips and stuff.
That's crazy.
I actually thought you were gonna pull up like an actual video.
Yeah, of elephant like
Was that
jumping.
actually the thing?
Looks like you can't find one, can you?
I'll look on YouTube.
Yeah,
We'll find
later.
one.
Yeah.
We'll find one.
Probably
They
animated.
can't.
Probably AI generated to where it's fake.
Probably.
You know.
You never know. I mean, that was.
Yeah, but that was like bad. That was like nobody would believe that was real.
You fell for it at first.
Yeah.
But elephants can't jump at the end of the day, right?
I mean,
They
What
can't.
you guys will see in this video, I will make him put a video of an elephant jumping. If it's not in here, it wasn't found. But if it's not in here and I send it to him, you will see in
Do
the
you
comments.
guys think elephants can jump?
Yeah, let us know down in the comments. And just,
Yeah, before the video. So he'll post a video right after this. But do you actually think that they can? Just think about it.
No, they can't. It's scientifically
I'm
proven
gonna
that they
find a
can't.
video.
He literally looked it up. and
That
they
was
said
a
they-
joke video. I'm gonna find it.
Okay, whatever.
I don't think that was a joke video.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Then you thought the video was real.
No, I'm talking about Marshall. That was a joke video, but like you can't find anything about it. They can't jump.
Marshall's coming with the fun fake facts.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm suing you for
You'll
that.
be doing the fun fact next week, so better come with a real one.
Oh, I'm gonna have a good one.
Yeah,
It's
Marshall will
gonna
be on next
fun
week.
fact. Elephants can jump.
It's proven.
No, you gotta put. If you do that, you gotta have like a whole paper of like, this is why an elephant can jump.
Okay, so should we put it in here or wait for next week to have the video of the elephant?
No, you can prove yourself next week.
Okay, why? Okay, before or after I tell the fun fact, we'll say whether I was right or wrong and then show a video.
Sure.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys.
But there's not gonna be a video, so there's gonna be nothing to show, and
Yes.
you're just gonna have to be like, I was wrong.
No, you guys better comment. I'm telling you, just hear me out, Braden Strawn style. Just hear me out, okay? I'm telling you, just comment down your for real opinion, and you will see on next episode that I am right.
And trust no one.
Trust no one. Tatted on the arm,
Trust
baby.
no one, baby.
Snake in a hand. He can never be trusted.
Shout out to Bray Bray. Well,
Let's go, baby.
I think we're gonna wrap it up for this episode.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep. Hopefully the quality's better and everything goes
Yeah, we'll
well.
see how that goes.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about
Yeah,
it.
tell us if you think the quality's better in this video or like a previous one.
I even think the conversations were a lot better, but maybe
Oh,
that's
'cause you
just
were in it?
I was talking. Oh, you know.
All right, that's good.
I'm him.
All right.
I'm him.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and yep. See you guys next week.
Peace out.
See it.